Welcome back to How to Souls. My name is Rach and today we're going to continue with our 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring. We're in an area I affectionately like to call the Weeping Peninsula. Last time we conquered Castle Morn, which is like the sort of biggest main point of interest in this entire continent. However, there's a plethora of lots of little things that you do not want to miss going ahead in this game. Nothing integral for the story, but I would say pretty integral for survival going forward. We have a number of world bosses, treasures, churches to find, so let me just go ahead and mark them all on my map so I can easily show you where they all are. I want to just take a quick moment to apologise for the lack of game audio in this section of the walkthrough. I had some corrupted footage, 8 hours of it, so I'm hoping to get the audio back to you guys soon, but I do apologise for what it does take away from the experience of these videos. Okay, map looking good. Some nice markers. Markers are so underrated, I feel. I just use them all the time. Markers and waypoints. We're going to start off by teleporting to the Castle Morn Rampart, just here in the centre of the zone. Here, we're going to follow this path up here. I quite like to just mark it because, yes, I do still get lost here at this crossroads after all this time, and you can tell by this cut in the footage right here that I got lost again. So what happens if you stick to this path? The path kind of gets a bit difficult to see. You will see lines of grace sort of leading you round to the left just here. Okay, so there's a grace just here that you can pick up as I guess another extra teleport point. You never want to pass up on a grace. Just get all the graces. And then we stick to this path, sort of like hugging the cliff, going up. You'll see a bridge in the distance. So we're going to jump over this misbegotten. It's not a misbegotten, is it? It's a heckin' demi-human. This is like demi-human territory over here. Yeah, just jump past him. I mean, you can jump off Torrent and fight him if you like. We've got some Erdtree protectors down here, giving you a wee clue. There is a minor Erdtree just up the hill above. But we're just going to stick to the path. Don't jump down, stay up on this level. And then eventually, if you just keep heading straight, you will see a church. You can just see it in the distance there, just by the Erdtree. Churches, if you find them, always go to them. You can always tell what they kind of look like on the map as well. You can kind of see where they are. Churches will always, always, I would say, have a crystal tear in it that you can put into your flask of crimson and cerulean tears, and it increases the amount gained in health and FP per drink. So yeah. Sacred Tear, very good. You can always tell if you're able to upgrade your flask because it'll have a nice little dot next to flasks when you do rest at a grace. That is a quality of life upgrade that was not around at launch, but oh my god. See, when they added it, I was like, yes, it's so good. Because later on, you start needing 2 Sacred Tears and like 3 golden seeds. To be able to upgrade a flask, so it like helps you. You don't have to keep checking it every single time. From here, we're going to head straight south to the minor Erdtree. So just like sort of staying on this level, not jumping down, straight across. All minor Erdtrees have a Erdtree protector that players of Dark Souls might recognize some of the moves from. I said protector, I meant avatar, Erdtree Avatar. There's a couple ways you can approach this one. You can come round from the south, but coming this way means you do get a wee bit of a drop on him, approaching him from behind. You're able to get pretty close and buff up before he's even noticed you. So Erdtree avatars, there's 2 different kinds. Just the plain one here, it's not putrid. They are pretty simple. They only have a few different moves. If you see it take off into the sky like so, it's a butt drop. So back off and then close the distance with a jump attack. If you see him raise his foot, he's going to stomp on you. So you can wait until that's about to come down and then roll. When he slams his staff into the ground, he summons all these little beams of light to track you down like so. What I like to do is just immediately jump on Torrent and just dash to the side and they will never hit you. I don't even think you literally need to dash. I think you can literally just run on Torrent and they won't hit you. You can panic roll if you can't get to Torrent in time, but one or two stray beams might hit you. From that, it's literally just learning the timing on the staff attacks, keeping up the aggression, dodging an attack, and then getting one attack back in if you do need to roll away. Again, close the distance with a jump attack. They're pretty simple. They get a lot harder later on when they start being putrid. So I do recommend taking the time to get to know this one while they're easy. So Erdtree Avatars will drop tiers for your Flask of Wondrous Physique. So the physique tiers, they can be like, there's loads of different kinds. This one's quite important. Opaline Bubble tier was one of the two that we got from this one, as well as Crimson Burst. Crimson Burst just like heals you. However, Opaline Bubble, you might find this useful like for the entire game. This gives you a 90% damage protection on the first hit that you take. So it can be really, really good for when you're progressing later on bosses that can deal most of your health in damage with one hit. It gives you just that little bit longer survivability before you're obviously destroyed by them. So yeah, it can be really good just for letting you survive. One single hit can make such a difference, honestly. There's a little tower here, which I am going to come back to later. There's a teleporter chest in there. I'm not ready to deal with that yet. I do not recommend you go up there and play around with it. I mean, well, you can, but if you want to do it with me, we'll do it later. I don't know why I didn't do it now. I just didn't feel like it, I suppose. But instead, going to head down to this merchant's shack. This one's quite important because, as you can see from the little sparkles behind it, there is a grace. Light the grace, rest at the grace. Merchant here, we can chat to. He's got a couple of stone sword keys. So, as with, as ever, if you don't have a lantern yet, by the way, here's a good place to get a lantern. Stone sword keys, we're going to use a lot of these, so we just want to try and get in the habit buying them whenever we see them at a merchant. There's loads that you can pick up just off the ground, but we don't want to rely on that just in case we do miss any. So when we find them at a merchant, we want to buy them. Runes are cheap, trust me. Runes are really cheap, and we're super OP for this stage in the game. So from here, we're actually going to teleport. I've done this in a weird order, sorry. We're just going to quickly teleport back to the Castle Morn Rampart, because I do want to get this other crystal tier, sacred tier, sorry, from this church here. This church is just straight ahead from when you appear at the Grace. Sort of due west, that's a better way of saying it, due west. And then you want to have the cliff to your right. So before we went around with the cliff to our left, now the cliff's to our right, we're going up this hill here. Eventually you're going to get to Ailing Village. This is full of madmen and rats. Madmen, mad rats. The sickness, the frenzied flame is here. And you can tell from their yellow eyes. So do be cautious because it's a wee bit spooky. Ailing Village. So you can pick up... is it Alteria Leaf? Oh, Eye of Yellow, that's it. Or Yellow. Oh, it probably is yellow. It's probably a play on the yellow eyes of the frenzied flame. And here's the church here, the Kalu Baptismal Church. This, very important, this corpse on the left here has the Flame of Frenzy, an incantation, which is pretty cool. Actually, madness incantations are pretty cool in this game. And pick up the sacred tier. So we can put that into our flask to make it heal even more or restore more FP. So those were the two main things to get here, the Flame of Frenzy and the Sacred Tier. So I'm literally just running away far enough that I'm out of combat so I can teleport back to where we were by the merchant there. Yeah, sorry, I did that in a weird order. So our next waypoint here is just in the middle. We've got loads to do around here, but we can tick it off rather quickly. It looks like loads, but it's not really. So back to the isolated merchant shack. This is I call them turtles. They're not turtles. They're wandering mausoleums. They are puzzles. Again, they're not bosses per se, they are puzzles. And you have to figure out how to get them to chill out. This one is fairly simple because you'll notice right away it's covered in barnacles. Like its little feet are... Well, they're not barnacles, are they? They're like skulls. But I see them as like a ship with like barnacles on the side. But they are actually, if you look closely, lots of little skulls. So what you want to do is just be careful because obviously he is stomping around, and one stomp, I think, is our entire health bar at this stage. So just be careful. Get a jumping attack to hit the high ones. Try and hit a couple at once if you can. You can also mount up on Torrent, but I find it a little bit less accurate. Do just take care if you're hanging out like underneath him, like near the bell, because if you start to see rubble falling, that means you've completed the puzzle and he's away to fall. So don't be underneath him as he sits down. You don't want him to sit on you. You don't have to get every single barnacle. Oh God, watch out. But just a few on each foot should do it. I actually think there's one of the feet I don't even get to, like at all. Here you go. So if you're on Torrent, you can strike from the left with LB or from the right with RB or R1, L1, whatever. Whatever. And then once you hit enough of them, he sort of stops. You can kind of see rocks falling. There you go. There's the rocks. Okay, so just back off. He's like, I'm not enjoying what you're doing. And he just sits down to have a wee sleep. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Yes, it is actually. So that's that complete puzzle done. You're looking for this door. So wandering mausoleums, their thing is, once you figure out how to open them, examine the remains in the middle. They are for duplicating remembrances. So remembrances in this game are like strong boss souls that can be traded for weapons or spells. And sometimes it's always either or, like it's one or the other. And sometimes you want both. Like, for example, if you're a sorcerer, both of Renala's remembrance rewards are really good for a pure magic sorcerer. So you want to come to a wandering mausoleum, duplicate the remembrance, so you can have both rewards. It's very, very cool. It saves you from doing New Game Plus if you want to collect, you know, both things. It's worth pointing out that you can use the remembrance and then duplicate it after you've used it. That does work. So don't worry about like if you want to buy one thing right away, but you don't have a turtle yet. You can find the turtle after. Straight up, what was that? Sort of north from where we got the turtle there. There's another Church of Manica with another sacred tier. So that's like, what, 3 that we've found in Weeping Peninsula? So popping those into my flask just there. It's at +5 now, which is great. So as you level up your flask, you can level up your vigor with the safety of like knowing that like one flask can refill the whole thing. It's pretty good. All right, so time for field bosses. That's us got that church there, so I'm just going to clean up the map a little bit. There's an Evergaol here. This Evergaol is opened with a key. Not all Evergaols are free to open. A lot of them do cost stone sword keys, but hey, we've been collecting stone sword keys. Evergaols are famously, you cannot summon spirit ashes inside of Evergaols. So you want to go for brute force. Some Evergaols have a NPC summon in them. For example, Blythe helps you with Dadawal. But this one, you're on your own. So you can examine the seal in the middle, enter the Evergaol. It's like a phased kind of area. And then straight ahead of you, there will be a sort of purple area with a scar in the ground. That is where the prisoner of the Evergaol will emerge from. So we don't want to go near that. We want to buff up just here. Flame grant me strength, flask of physique, all the good stuff, and then approach and then get the first hit in. Nice and aggressive. This is the ancient hero of Zamor. His thing is frost. So he has this frozen frost breath that you can just strafe to the sides for. And he has this AoE that he will do. Now that his sword is like charged with frost, he has this like big frozen AoE that he can do. He can close distance, as you can see here, pretty quickly. So do keep that in mind if you are backing off trying to heal. I'm getting my butt kicked here. Use the Bloodhound Fang. There's the AoE. Use the Bloodhound Fang's L2 R2 combo to zip in and out. And just always try and be faster than him. Close distance with a jump attack. Luckily, we seem to have pretty good defense. This guy doesn't hit very hard. Our health is pretty high. And we've got enough flasks at this point that we can just heal off anything that he can do to me. So he's not too bad. But not being able to rely on Spirit Ashes does feel kind of scary if you've been used to using them thus far. But luckily his health is quite low and our damage is quite high. So hopefully we've got enough flasks to survive that. The reward for him, from him I should say, is Radagon's Scar Seal. Now if you're thinking, whoa, deja vu, I already have this. No, you've got Radagon's Sore Seal. So there's Scar Seal and Sore Seal. So Sore Seal is actually the better one. This is the less good one, but now we have it. We're doing all bosses, so now we have it. Right, that's another boss down. There is an NPC which will become very, very important later on, just here. So it's worth just going to check her out, just sort of showing you where she is, putting eyes on her, saying hi to her. For later. So this NPC is linked to Sorceress Sellen's questline. And if you've got any interest in sorcery, then you will want to take an interest in Sorceress Sellen. So approach the Witchbane Ruins. There's a big ball of sorcerers that comes out the ground. We're just going to ignore them and run down here. Now be aware, we have pulled a few marionettes which shoot these massive arrows at you. There's one sticking out at me. They do follow you down here into the cellar, so you can go over here and speak to the prisoner stuck to the wall. They're in pain. They're just all they say is, "It will do no good." She doesn't really seem to notice us, but once you've chatted to her, that's all good. Yeah, I'm covered in freaking arrows, so it could be worth just taking the time. Killing them maybe before you come down here. I was maybe a little bit hasty. You can pick up Ambush Shard here in this room. Ambush Shard, I feel it's functional. It's super functional. It doesn't do the most damage, but it's sort of nighttime sorcery is really good for it's good for enemies that like to try and dodge your spells. It's kind of got like invisibility powers kind of thing. You sort of summon a little portal and then the magic comes out of the portal. So it's to bamboozle enemies. Right, so that was Sorceress Sellen. But more will become clear soon. But now we know where she is. So now we're going to do a Memory Stone puzzle. If we teleport back to Castle Morn Rampart and then jump up this Spirit Spring here is a tower. A Memory Stone tower. These, again, are all puzzles. Lots of puzzles in this game. They're so good. There always will be a clue at the door, probably with an imp statue, that tells you what to do. So this one here in the Weeping Peninsula, Oridys' Rise, the puzzle clue is seek 3 wise beasts. Well, wise beasts, there's one there. Tortoise. First time I got here, I was like, right, owls, guys, we're looking for owls. And I went and found some birds and I was like, are these owls? Or they were like eagles or something. I wouldn't personally call a tortoise a wise beast, but the idea is you turn around and you say, oh, hey, that turtle wasn't here before. So that's the first one. The second one here is in this lake and you see it as you approach the lake. You see a big splash in the lake. So that's your clue. There's a tortoise, I should say, in the lake. The last one, I've actually gone right past it. It's background by the door. If you are facing the door, just on the left-hand side of the door, left-hand side of the staircase, in this little corner here, there he is. Okay. So that's all 3. The seal on the rise open. So that was a warm-up. That was an easy one. They get much harder. Hey, that's a theme. I'm sensing a theme with Elden Ring. Some of these towers, there's like a chest behind it. I couldn't remember if this one had a chest behind the ladder, but it doesn't. It does not. So straight up the ladder for this one. And then when we get to the top, the chest inside has a memory stone in it. Memory stones will increase, they're like attunement. Attunement's kind of different in this game. Increase the number of spells that you can have equipped. So I think I have like 3 at the minute, but when we get this, we'll be able to have 4, which is nice. It's good. Good to have the ability to equip more should we wish. You don't want to have too many spells equipped, because then if you have too many and they're all rubbish and you never use them all, you just kind of get a wee bit flustered flicking through them all, especially in the heat of combat. So my advice is, if you don't want to equip more spells, don't. But you have the option to, should you wish to. Once again, we're heading back to the Castle Morn Rampart Grace. We're using this grace quite a lot. That was Oridys' Rise. So now we have our 2 nighttime bosses. And again, much like Limgrave, we have a Knight's Cavalry and we have a Deathbird. So y'all know how I feel about Deathbirds. Knight's Cavalry, but let's start with the Knight's Cavalry. So rest at the Grace and pass time until nightfall, and then he should spawn. This one has a flail. Friede, bring me my flail. Same tactics as the last one, Bloodhound Fang. We are buffing the heck up and we are using jump attacks as he is running at us. If you can get the horse to do the sort of rear attack, like so, that's a good one to punish from. Quite easy to dodge. However, if he's running around, strafing around you, he's always going to be readying an attack. So dodge through the attack, and then if you can, return fire. But it can be a bit of a pain to try and get him to stay still long enough to get hit by your jump attacks. The reason I recommend jump attacks, oh God's sake, man, is that you can quite often hit the knight and the horse. The horse has much less health than the knight. So I'm actually focused on trying to hit the horse. Because if we can de-saddle the knight, I'm pretty sure there's a word in the English language for de-saddling something. Horse is almost dead. Oh, horse is almost dead. That was a great few hits in there. If I had done a charge attack, maybe. Okay, Fireball, nice. Fireball was a great idea there because it was almost dead. With him de-saddled. Dismounted, that's it, dismounted, that's the word. Hey, learn English with Rage. Then we can, you know, get the crit attack on him. Critical attack, loads of damage on him. But yeah, that is the most fun way and most effective way to fight the Knight's Cavalry, is just focus on the horse, but obviously get a wee bit of damage on him if you can. When he goes down, you get his flail. Flails are cool. They got bleed on them and a big stagger on them. And also the Ash of War Barricade Shield. I'm not using shield, but there's often times when I wish that maybe I did. Just for slowing combat down a little bit. If you've been trying the Bloodhound Fang and you think, oh, I take so much damage, please consider getting enough strength to one-hand the Bloodhound Fang. I think our strength is already pretty high. And trying with a shield with Barricade Shield on it. It's a really good Ash of War. Provided you have enough stamina, blocking and attacking, you should never run out of stamina. Really good, like for a guard sort of playstyle. This piece of rubble here has our second Deathbird on it. And we're lucky it's just a Deathbird and not a Deathrite bird. You think these are bad? It gets harder. So I tried to get a pure like crazy plunging attack, but for some reason I couldn't like jump off torrent. It didn't work. It would have looked pretty cool if it had worked. So what we learned last time from our last Deathbird is that they should not be underestimated. They're kind of a pain in the ass. Targeting's annoying. They have this grab attack, which I just can't flippin' dodge for some reason. And yeah, they're kind of long. They have insane reach. They can gap close really quickly. Fighting them on torrent is just a bit of a faff. They should not be underestimated. The best way to deal with them is going underneath them. I almost recommend not targeting them almost, because like, as you can see here, there's the grab. So when you see him roar, that's the grab. Very hard to survive that. So you're looking for this roar that has all this sort of death like cloud around it like so, and then get ready to dodge. Finally, she learned to dodge it. So underneath him, between the legs, L2 to jump out, R2 to jump back in. Watch for the peck. We did enough stagger that we can crit him in the head. And that's the Deathbird. Pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. He's always got little bat friends as well, but he quite often ends up killing them for us, which is good. Sacrificial axe. I've never used it, to tell you the honest truth. I've never used it. It's maybe good. It's maybe pish. I don't know. Okay. Deathbird done. That was... And if you let me just pick up my runes here from when I so foolishly died. That was our last field boss. So that is Weeping Peninsula on the surface done. Okay, we've done all our running around and now it's time to tackle all the little caves, catacombs, and mines. Subscribe for the next part of the Elden Ring walkthrough and I'll see you in the next video.